Hello everybody, this is GamerGar and welcome back to another episode of the Riverlands Farm. So we are now in the first week of fall. It is a Monday, which means we get to look at the Keys Secret Walnut Room quests. Unfortunately, we didn't get the Extended Family quest. We have a choice of the Junimuk Arts or the Skull Cavern Invasion. We're going to go with the Skull Cavern Invasion just because it awards more key gems. We're going to go into the Volcano Dungeon today just to try to get some gear to prepare us for Skull Cavern Invasion. It does have some ferocious enemies within, some of the hardest hitting enemies in the game. Would be nice to get some decent rings today and to get some decent boots. Unfortunately, we just got a golden coconut out of the elite chest. So, not getting the best of luck today. Even if we don't get better boots today, we still have more than enough resources to tackle the hardened versions of Skull Caverns. We're also going to merge up some rings. We're going to merge the Ruby Ring along with the Aquamarine Ring. And we're going to merge the Iridium Band with another Aquamarine Ring as well. So that's going to give us a nice attack power boost as well as a nice critical hit chance boost as well. We're going to get all of this speed growth that we bought from Sandy. We're going to plant it down in our lovely Ginger Island farm. Hopefully, when we harvest those melons, that will be enough to get us to farming level 10. We're now in the hardened versions of the Skull Cavern. As you can see, the serpents are much longer. The longer the serpent, the more HP it actually has. But even if you get really long serpents, all we need is one critical hit and it will get destroyed immediately. That's how strong our combat build actually is. The goal for today is simple. Make it down to floor 100. That will give us a couple of more key gems. Despite the fact that we already have our magic bait and the recipe to make magic bait, there's still a few more things we can buy with key gems that will make our lives a little bit easier. For example, Pierre's missing stock list and key seasoning. With those, we can get potatoes and we can use the seasoning to spice up those potatoes so we can get +4 on Dish Up the Seas instead of +3s. We just picked up a Galaxy Soul there. That is extremely rare to get from an enemy. There's only a few places in the game you can get those. If we can get 3 of those, we can actually turn a Galaxy weapon into an Infinity weapon. It just gets increased stats. But in my books, Infinity weapons still aren't as strong as the weapon we have right now because of the enchant it has stacked up on it. We got down to floor 100, we get our key gems, we also get some Iridium bars. But we're not going to stop there, there is some time left in the day, so we'll keep pushing ahead. We're going to wipe out these enemies. It would be nice to get some rings for monster eradication goals after all. And if we get some extra pieces of Iridium, we can absolutely use that as well to make crystallariums, Iridium sprinklers, and other bits and bobs as we get into the more advanced items we can craft in the game. I wasn't even looking for Iridium ore, I still managed to get over 200 pieces of it, which is really nice. The Galaxy Soul though was the grand prize of yesterday's run. Another day, another visit to Robin of course. We are going to get her to make a fish pond. Once we're finished with Robin, we're going to check out the community quests. Because we're in fall, you can now take a look at this quest board. Every single week we can choose between one of 2 quests. We've got Robin's project and we've got the resource rush. We're going to go with the project because hardwood is now quite easy to get. We can get it in the secret woods. We can also grab it over on Ginger Island, and if we really need to, we can always just plant some mahogany seeds on the ground, use some tree fertilizer, and before we know it, we can cut down mahogany trees for even more hardwood. We can also change our foraging perks around as well, so that when we cut down trees they have a chance to drop hardwood, and we'll actually do that now because hardwood is something that we need in abundance. We don't really need botanists right now because this is more of a fishing challenge. And in my experience, you can never have enough hardwood. All of the best crafts in the game require hardwood. So we're going to pay 10,000 gold and we're going to reforge our foraging skill. We're going to go for the Forester perk first of all. Trees drop more wood, but more importantly the level 10 perk, we're going to get Lumberjack. All trees have a chance to drop hardwood. We're very close to getting to level 10 farming. When we do, all of that lovely aged raw is going to dramatically increase in price, so we are going to make a lot more money from fishing. Now because we have magic bait, it is now time to go and try to get the Master Angler achievement. This will also reward us with a star drop from Willy, so we are going to spend the next day or 2 trying to get every single fish in the game. We just got the tiger trout there, which was a new catch, and we also picked up a salmon, which was very nice indeed. We're now going to go down to the beach area, and there's lots of fish down here. There's even some fish that we missed in spring that we can now get our hands on. So what we're pulling up here is going to be an albacore, and that's a new fish added to the roster. All of the other fish that we pick up, especially sardines, if we get those, we're going to keep them because we can use the sardines along with hash browns and other bits and bobs to make Dish Up the Seas later on. This just goes to show how overpowered magic bait is because it gives you the ability to pull up any fish in the game. Even fish that require certain weather elements, like the red snapper there for example. Normally You can just get that when it's raining, but we put it up there no problem. But the greatest uses of magic bait is the fact that you can get the submarine fish with it. Now, I think we're in a slightly wrong spot at the moment to get the submarine fish, so later we're going to pivot our character just a little bit to the left there, and as we can see, we just pulled up the blobfish there, which was really nice. We also need to get our hands on the midnight squid and the spookfish as well, so we would attempt to get those tonight. Now, there was bubbles just up there too. I was thinking on getting those, but I wasn't too sure if I fished up there I'd still be able to get the submarine fish that I needed. So I just got the midnight squid there, which was nice, and picked up the spookfish as well. The next day starts with the creation of lots of preserve jars. I figured I needed a lot more because there was an awful lot of raw that was just getting put into the chest, so making an amount of preserve jars is going to dramatically increase the money we bring in every day to the farm. We're also going to visit the cave here as well. We're going to pull up all of the fish that we missed previously, such as the ice pip. We're also going to pick up the stonefish as well as the ghost fish. We also need to get all of the lovely crab pot fish as well, so I made a lot of crab pots. I'm going to put deluxe bait inside them. Deluxe bait gives you a better chance to get a fish than it does get trash. So it does matter what kind of bait you put into those crab pots. We just got the walleye there, one step closer to getting the Master Angler achievement, but we're still a ways off. There's still lots of fish we have to collect. Now, we got a lot of the crabfish today. We got the snail, the periwinkle, went down to the beach here. We got the cockle, the shrimp, the mussel, and even if you pick these up off the beach, that counts as foraging these items. It doesn't actually count as fishing them up. We also got the lingcod today as well, which was really nice, but we're not finished. We're going to go to the desert. We're going to get the sandfish and the scorpion carp. Now, the scorpion carp is quite a difficult catch, but if your fishing bar is big enough, it's not too bad. We're going to go to the mutant bug lair, and we're going to fish up the slime jack. You can only get that in the mutant bug lair. We're then going to head on up here to the bathhouse area. We're going to enter the witch's swamp. We actually haven't entered this place yet because I just didn't see the need to go in and do this little mini quest, but we have to go in now. We have to put up a fish here known as the void salmon. We're then going to go into the secret woods here, and we're just going to collect more hardwood before we finish up today. We still need 80 pieces of hardwood to finish off Robin's quest. I mean, if we do get a few friendship points with Robin, she will teach us the drum block and the blueprint block. It's nice to get those if you're going for 100% completion, especially on Ginger Island. The next day started with a huge amount of battery packs that I got to collect. Now I'm going to save all these battery packs. I might use them for either solar panels, crystallariums, or iridium sprinklers. Lots of great things you can use those for. We're going to use 100 pieces of hardwood, and we're going to fix up the tree stump here. The next day, a raccoon is going to move in there, and we can do some cool side quests for that. Once we donate the 80 pieces of hardwood to Robin, that is a quest complete. We're now going to talk to Robin, and you guessed it, she is going to make us another fish pond. We're then going to take the boat and go over to Ginger Island, and we came over here for one reason, and that was to fish up the stingray, another fish in the bag for us. We then went back to Pelican Town, and we're going to go to Cindersap Forest. We're going to fish up the goby here, and now we're going to collect the last few crab pot fishes that we need. We've got the lobster there, and that unlocked a new achievement, the Master Angler. So that is now every single fish in the game fully captured, and we managed to do it there in 2 days, just using the magic bait, which was pretty nice. So the next day, Willie is now going to send us a star drop for a nice quest complete. Now, before we go into the next day, we are going to use up some of our resources. We're going to make a deluxe worm bin. They will generate deluxe bait every single day. Deluxe bait's real nice. When Willie gives you the star drop, I find that the message is a bit sad because Willie wanted to pass this down to one of his kids, but he doesn't have kids. So I really hope, really hope that the next couple of patches that go into Stardew Valley might add something for all of the, the bachelors and the bachelorettes. Give them some sort of a social life if you don't decide to marry them yourself. It would be nice to see Willie with kids, Clint with kids. I think it would just complete the characters. The next day, I was really hoping for an extended family, but RNG's just not on my side, so I went with P's Prismatic range. Like, this whole challenge, it's going to come down to how often we get the extended family quest. If we don't get it at all, it's kind of going to ruin the challenge because I'm putting all of my eggs into the one basket when it comes to, fishing in this challenge. I really need that quest to show you how powerful fishing can be. Completing the Prismatic range was simple. For the blue items, I just bought some Georgia Colas, and I had all the other resources lying around for the other colours. So that was some more key gems in the bag. I had a few key gems on me right now, so I'm going to go ahead and purchase Pierre's missing stock list so we can get access to potatoes. And we're going to get some key seasoning as well, so we can spruce up those dish of disease. We're going to give Pierre his stock list. He's very happy. Before we head to bed, we're going to check out the community quests. We had the island ingredients from Caroline and a tropical fish from Willie. Now, we're going to take island ingredients because it will unlock the solar panel, and the solar panel is an absolute godsend, especially when you need devices that require batteries. So we're going to take that, we're going to try our best to get all of the lovely ginger that Caroline needs. I think ginger is probably the hardest request she can give you, because you just can't mass produce that. You have to visit Ginger Island almost every single day and roam around looking for ginger to hoe up off the ground. We're going to go back to Robin now, get her to make, yes, another fish pond. And most of these fish ponds will be empty because we want to put legend 2s inside them, so we have to wait another week now and pray to God that we're going to get that extended family quest. In the meantime, we're going to do up the greenhouse here, hoe up the ground, put down some sprinklers and fill it up with potatoes. So let's go visit Pierre. Let's purchase 100 potato seeds. We're going to put those to great use. It only takes 6 days to grow these potatoes. We're also going to purchase some oil off Pierre as well, because you need potatoes and oil, and you need sardines to make dish of the seas. To make a dish of the sea, we also need the hash brown. So we're going to go to the saloon and we're going to purchase the hash brown recipe along with everything else, because we have lots of money at the moment. We're then going to go back to our farm, go into our greenhouse and plant all of the potato seeds. Once this is finished, we're going to head on into our mushroom cave. We're going to collect all of our mushrooms and put them into the dehydrator. The dehydrator is still really good. The only reason I'm not putting magma caps in there is because they're fine individually. If you combine 5 together, of course you get a superfood, but one magma cap, like especially a good quality magma cap, is enough to fill up your health and energy, or almost fill up your health and energy. So unless you're going for pure profits, I wouldn't bother putting magma caps into the dehydrator. I would only put them in if it was a pure money run. I went over to the dig site here. I'm getting rid of all of the resources, because if you do this, there's a good chance ginger will spawn in some of the nodes the next day. So we're now entering day number 10. This is the final day, and what a day today is going to be. We're going to get farming level 10 today, which has been a long-term goal for us on this Let's Play. This will allow us to get into the mastery tiers, and we just unlocked level 10 there, which was nice. If we take a look at our skills now, as we can see, the mastery slot is now open. We need 10,000 XP to get the first mastery level. Harvesting the rest of the melons will help with that. Now, in my opinion, there's 2 ways to power up mastery levels very quickly. The first is to spam farming. So if you had a field filled up with crops like this, or even back in your regular farm, if you know, star fruit or tons and tons of melons, that's a great way. The other way is to go into the likes of this called cavern and just start detonating iridium nodes, because they give you 50 XP a pop. And that's what we're going to do today. Once we've finished with our melons, we're going to go straight into the skull caverns, and we're going to try our best to get as much XP as possible. Even if you don't find iridium nodes, there's still plenty of other stuff around that you can detonate to get tons of XP. You're also getting tons of resources, and all those resources, of course, can be utilised back on the farm. Now, believe it or not, I didn't get one single prismatic shard today, and I was hoping for a few, because I really wanted to get my hands on a few magic rock candies over the next couple of weeks just to dramatically increase my luck. But since the 1.6 patch has been introduced, prismatic shards have been much more difficult to come across, and I detonated a lot of iridium ores today. I destroyed a lot of enemies in the skull caverns, but they just weren't dropping for me. I got everything else, of course. I got tons of iridium ores, I got tons of copper ores, iron ores, gold ores, you name it, I got it, except prismatic shards. Level 10 farming, we're going to take artisan. That means all of our lovely aged goods are now worth 40% more. And that is the end of another Let's Play. Thanks everyone for watching. Let's try and get into the Mastery Cave next week and get those lovely farming perks. Huge shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for supporting me. I'll see you all in the next one. Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome back to another episode of the Riverlands Farm. We are now entering the 3rd week of fall. We're on Thursday, the 11th. The next 10 days are going to be pretty extraordinary, so strap in and get ready for some awesome progression. We're currently making our way to Robin's, collecting forage on our way there. Once we get to Robin's, we're going to get her to make us the usual fish pond. Now these fish ponds, I can tell you right now, are going to pay off a lot sooner than you think. And we're going to fill every single fish pond up with legendary fishies. And when you start seeing the money flow, I mean, it's going to flow big time. We're going to go to Clint and upgrade the pan. That'll be upgraded all the way to iridium. It's back to Ginger Island. We have a quest from Caroline to get 100 ginger, so we're doing that almost every day. For the rest of the day, we are going to do some fishing. we're going to pull up as much lava eel as possible. Now, we didn't start this in the morning time, so we're not going to get huge amounts of lava eel, but we should get a fair bit. What I'm aiming for now is 500,000 gold, so I can unlock the movie theatre, Pelican Town. Now, we made well over 120,000 gold today, primarily from selling smoked lava eels. We've also got some aged crimson fish, mutant carp roe inside there as well. The next day starts with a collection of lots of different types of roe. Legend roe, mutant carp roe, and we also check the fishing ponds as well every single day. Because you're not guaranteed roe from these fishing ponds every day. It's very inconsistent, but it's still worth it. We're going to go to the bookseller here, our setup. We're going to get lots of skill books, including Way of the Wind Part 2. I was thinking about getting the Queen of Sauce cookbook, but I said for 50 grand, it just wasn't worth it at this time. I will take these skill books though, because we absolutely want to get our mastery level up to 1 so we can get that lovely fishing mastery. We're very close to level 1 at the moment, we just need a little bit more. We're going to head on over to Ginger Island and we're going to find as much ginger as we can. Once we're done with the collection of all the ginger you can get from the island today, we are going to cut down an absolute mountain of trees. That's right. We're going to cut down trees until we reach level 1 mastery. Despite the fact that we have cut down literally hundreds of trees now, believe it or not, I still haven't got that book of power. That gives, I think it's a 5% chance for trees to give double wood when you cut them down. It just hasn't dropped for me. So when it comes to the challenge so far, what I can say about RNG is that it's been on my side for the most part, but on the other part then it's just been terrible. So I suppose 50-50. Now, while we're cutting down these trees, it's also worth noting that we still haven't gotten the extended family key quest. So we haven't gotten the opportunity to fish up all of the relatives of the legendary fish. We're really banking on that quest. We can't really call this a fisherman challenge if we don't get that quest in all fairness, because that quest is the pinnacle of fishing, especially when it comes to money making. We finally get into the mastery cave here. We're going to take the fishing mastery. The advanced iridium rod allows us to connect 2 tackle students instead of 1, and the golden fishing chests are absolutely worth it. You can get star drop teas inside those chests, you can get pearls inside them, or you can just get amazing things altogether. Now, we spoke to the raccoon. It's looking for 5 oysters and 1 smoked bream. That's absolutely no problem at all. We're going to put some deluxe bait into these crab pots. You have a better chance to get fish out of a crab pot if you put in a deluxe bait instead of a regular bait, just so you know. So we're going to fill them all up with deluxe bait and hopefully we get lots of oysters the next day. We're going to go back to Robin now. As per usual, it's going to be another fish pond. Because we have so many fish ponds on the farm right now, if we do get that extended family quest, the majority of catches will go towards the fishing ponds. So it's the fishing ponds first priority and then we'll smoke the rest. It was Clint for a pan upgrade and then we were enchanting the advanced iridium rod. We get the preserving enchant. That's probably one of the best enchants you can ask for. Master is good too because it makes your fishing bar bigger, but preserving is still quite overpowered because there's a chance you won't use up a special bait or you won't dig into the durability of your tackle when you're using the preserving enchant. Now, we had a lot of crab pots down by the beach. I could invest in more if I wanted to, but I figured that what I had there and then was enough. I also fished up the bream as well and we'll smoke that for our good friend the raccoon. I'm going to make 1 more fish smoker and put this on the farm because the other fish smokers are up in the volcano and I don't really want to be carting them around all the time I go somewhere. At the moment, if we decide to do a huge bout of fishing, it's going to be up in the volcano because at the moment that is the most profitable place to do our fishing. You just can't really beat lava eels, especially at the consistency you get them up in the volcano. We're smelting gold ores into gold bars. Multiple reasons for this. We need gold to make worm bins. We also need gold to make treasure hunter tackles, and that's going to be something we'll be using later on in this challenge, especially when we're going for hundreds upon hundreds of golden treasure chests. Now, the farm has come a long way, but at this moment in time, I feel like we could probably do with a few more preserve jars, but first we're going to make some deluxe worm bins. We're going to make a few more just so we never have to worry about deluxe bait. It is a little bit expensive to make, especially the fact that you have to use moss to make bait. Now, we did have to use moss to make these deluxe worm bins, but that's it. Once they're made, they will give you free deluxe bait every single day, so they're absolutely worth it, especially if you find yourself doing a lot of fishing. Now, we're going to go back down to the beach. We just picked up another oyster there, which was really nice, and we managed to get a few more from the crab pots as well. Once we're finished with all of the crab pots, we now have enough to go to our lovely raccoon friend, hand in the oysters and the smoked bream, and we're going to get back a reward. Now, for the first reward, he's just going to give us some seeds. We get broccoli because we're in fall. depending on the season, you know, he'll give you the corresponding seed to that season. So if it's fall, it was broccoli. If it was winter, it'd be powder melons, for example. We're over halfway there now with the harvesting of the ginger, and we've got 15 days left. So we're actually making really good time at the moment with that quest. And with the rate we're going, because we're checking this almost every single day, we should have this quest completed, hopefully, in the next week or so. To obtain the next mastery level, we need 5,000 additional XP. Now, believe it or not, you'll actually get it quite quickly because almost every single thing you do will go into that mastery gauge. It will share across all your professions, whether you're fighting, fishing, foraging, farming or mining, all that XP fills up the gauge. So we're going for 9 iridium quality chubs just so we can get first place at the Stardew Valley Fair. Those chubs have now been secured. It is now a new day, a new adventure. We're going to start by collecting all the roe from our lovely fish ponds. As you can see, there's quite a lot of bare fish ponds at the moment. They're all being saved for Legend 2s. We're going to go back to Robin and she's going to build another fish pond. We're going to go back to Clint, get our gold pan, and this is finally going to be sent back to Clint now to be upgraded to an iridium pan. And once we get that iridium pan, we're going to have some serious fun with it. We're going to check out the community quest board. We're going to take Prismatic jelly for the monster musk, because if we decide to do a continuation of this challenge, for example perfection or 100%, would be nice to speed up monster eradication goals with that. We didn't get the extended family quest today. I didn't want to do Skull Cavern invasion or hardened versions of the mines. I just want to fish, and that's what we're going to do today, folks. We are going to fish, and fish some more. I feel like I've done more Skull Cavern runs than I normally do in a regular challenge, so I really need to do a bit more fishing, get some more gold and start getting some more upgrades. The next day was the Stardew Valley Fair. We're going to put in our 9 iridium star chubs. This is going to give us first place. It gives us a rating of 91. That's enough to grab the first place. That will give us 1,000 star tokens. We're going to gamble the star tokens until we get 2,000, and we're just going to get the star drop and get out of here. It's worth coming in here for the star drop because it increases maximum energy. The greenhouse is finally ready. We're going to get all these lovely potatoes. These potatoes will be used to make dish of the seas along with key seasoning, so we get +4 fishing. We get the iridium pan back off Clint. You can actually enchant the pan now. You can give some pretty cool stuff. So that's something we might do later on in the challenge. So we're looking for the prismatic slime today to get the prismatic jelly. We also completed a monster eradication goal for wiping out crabs. That's going to give us a crab shell ring. It's actually a fierce nice ring. It gives a huge pile of defense. We found an infestation floor on floor number 11. We will go in and out of this floor over and over again until we find the prismatic slime. Now, if we get a staircase down to floor 12 or floor number 13 and there's a good few enemies around, we will absolutely eradicate them. We just completed another monster eradication goal there. That one was for duggies. Now, you don't get great ring rewards every time you complete a monster eradication goal. It's just for some of the monsters. Unfortunately for the duggies, you just get a hard hat. Now, this just goes to show how powerful the critical strike build is. The prismatic slime is known for having absurd amounts of HP. We just wiped it out there with one critical strike, you know? I don't think there's a single enemy in this game that can survive a crit of our current combat build. So we gave the wizard the jelly. He's going to send us the recipe for Monster Musk the next day. We're going to loot all these lovely preserve jars. We're going to sell all of this lovely roe and we're going to make tons of money. Making Monster Musk is simple enough. You just need some monster components. It basically dramatically increases the spawn rates of monsters, making it super simple to get monster eradication goals cleared. So we don't really have a whole lot of stun on us right now because it's been a while since we did any of the dungeons like Skull Caverns or regular mines properly. So we're going to buy some stone off Robin. It's really cheap in year 1. So because we're making so much money from selling roe and selling fish, I don't mind buying stone. As long as we can keep Robin building the fish ponds over and over again. We just don't want her to rest. We want to fill up the farm with fish ponds by the time we get to the end of the year. It's going to look so good, especially if all of the fish ponds have Legend 2s inside of them. So we got more ginger today, and we're going to use our iridium pan, and we're going to spend the whole day panning. Now today was a bad luck day, so we're not going to expect anything great. Now in all fairness, we don't get lucky rings or anything extravagant, but we do get huge amounts of copper ores, coal, iron ores, bits of gold. Like, a lot of resources that we're getting we can absolutely use. And even if you're in the very, very end game of Stardew Valley, you still need thousands of copper for so many things. So it was actually a really good resource gathering project today using the pan. Now if you wanted lucky rings, you'd be coming here stacked up with luck. Now I really wanted lucky rings because I believe the more luck you have, the higher chance you have in getting rare fishes. And if we want to use all of the resources available to us, use all of the exploits available to us, we need huge amounts of luck to get tons of Legend 2s. Hopefully, if we do get that quest in the next couple of days. Now today we spent almost the whole day fishing up lava eels, and we get an extraordinary amount of lava eels today. I ended up getting 36 lava eels today. I would have got more if I used the tent and start bang on kind of 6 o'clock, 20 past 6. But you know what? I made a ton of money, and I made so much money over the past kind of week. I have over 500,000 gold now, so I can go into the Georgia Mart, talk to our good friend Morris, give him 500,000 gold, and he is going to get his lovely team to fix up the theatre for us so we can use that going forward. We're going to go back to Robin now, buy more stone. We're also going to get the recipe for the big chest, just to make life a little bit easier for us. All you need to make a big chest is some copper bars and wood. Very easy to make. Another day, it is another fish pond. Now the farm we're using isn't the biggest farm in the world. It's actually very small. So I reckon within the next few weeks with the rate we're going, we're probably going to run out of space to put down fish ponds. The reward for clearing the monster eradication goal for the magma sprites and the magma sparkers is Marna's telephone number. If you purchase a phone off Robin, you can ring him to use his item recovery service instead of going to the Adventurers Guild. It's actually quite a nice perk. Crabshell ring is something we can use for one of our combat builds. It's a real nice ring, and we're actually pretty close to getting a few more of the eradication goals completed. So we're going to make tons of hash browns today. This is just in preparation in case we pick up the extended family quest. Once the hash browns are made, we're going to combine the hash browns with the sardines to make dish of the sea. But we're also going to use key seasoning, so instead of getting +3 fishing, they're going to give us +4 fishing because it's a gold star quality dish of the sea. Not as good as a gold star seafoam pudding, but +4 fishing is still really nice to have. So I picked up a banana today. We're going to go into the area here just outside Leo's house, give this gorilla a banana, and we are going to get rewarded with some more golden walnuts. We're then going to spend an evening pulling up some ginger on Ginger Island. Then we're going to take out our lovely iridium pan, and we are going to get to panning. Today was another bad luck day, so I wasn't expecting great things today, and we don't get anything extravagant, but as per usual, we do get lots of coal, lots of copper ores, iron ores, gold ores, and things like that. And the coal is very valuable because time is going to come where we're going to be smoking up huge amounts of stuff, and every time you smoke a fish, you need a piece of coal. So this panning was actually coming in fair handy. This must be one of the best methods in the game to get coal, was by using an iridium pan. And that is another 10 days done. Thanks everyone for watching. Stay tuned for the last week of fall. It's going to be an explosive week. Stay cozy everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome back to another Stardew Valley episode on the Riverlands Farm. It's Robin's birthday today, but I couldn't give her the gift because she was inside the structure making the fish pond, so that was unfortunate. I also checked out the raccoons today. He finally found himself a wife, but he wanted to get some dried pomegranates. Now I didn't have any of those fruit trees on the farm, so it's something we're going to have to buy off Pierre later and play the long game. I paid 1,000 gold, got myself a movie ticket. I really wanted to use the crane game, but somebody was already playing it, so I had to wait. I did see Mysterium, and then it was off to Ginger Island, and we finally managed to get the last piece of ginger we needed to complete the island ingredients quest for Caroline. I have the rest inside a chest, I just have to ship them off. Caroline will reward us with nice solar panels for that. I got the foliage print today. I decided to spend today just to get some secret decorative items to increase my luck when it comes to getting this extended family quest the next day. I also picked up the squirrel figurine today as well, and these are all one-off items. I don't think you can get multiples of many of these items. I even went up into the volcano area and I managed to fish out the Psychics 101, which is another really cool painting. After this, we took a nice stroll down to Willie's house, went into the back room where the ship is, and we put up the Lifesaver, which is another unique piece of decoration that you can put up in your house. Now, if we're not going to get the extended family quest tomorrow, there's very little reason to call this a Fisherman Challenge, because everything we've done has been building up to this point, and we finally did it. The quest finally unlocked extended family, and everything we've done so far has been in preparation for this quest, trying to get mastery, getting the advanced iridium rod. It's all for this quest. We're going to exploit the absolute shenanigans out of this quest. So the exploit works where you can pull up the same fish over and over again as long as you don't pull up all 5 legendary fish. The most profitable fish by far is the Legend 2. I mean, it's on a totally different scale to the rest of the fish. So the tactic is that we're basically going to fish up as many Legend 2s over the next 3 days. We are going to put a good few into the bait maker to get lots of Legend 2 baits. We do have the preserving enchant on our rod, so there's a 50% chance the bait won't get used when we pull up a Legend 2, and we're really counting on that enchant to work. We're also using some pretty cool tackles. We're using a curiosity lure, picked up a few from mummies inside Skull Caverns. This increases the rate of in which you catch rare fish. That's a game changer, and we're using the trap bobber. Eventually, we can swap out the trap bobber with the likes of a quality lure, so we can get Iridium quality Legend 2s. For now, it's just Gold Star quality Legend 2s. Now, we end up getting absolute mountains upon mountains of Legend 2s over the next few days. And as you can see, all these Legend 2s aren't going to be smoked right now because I'm not too sure how many fish ponds I have on the farm. So we're going to go to this location for the next 3 days. We're going to take our buff food. We do have key seasoned Gold Star Dish of the Seas, so we get +4 to fishing. It makes our fishing bar bigger. It makes it way easier to pull up these wicked difficult fish. It's a very hard fish to pull up, but when you have max fishing skills and when you have the +4 and you have the trap bobber, it's much more manageable. So the 3 days went by very quickly. I ended up with well over 55 of these Legend 2s. I mean, look at all these Legend 2s. We're going to put some in the fish ponds. Once all the fish ponds are filled up, we're going to smoke the rest. And you're just going to see why this quest is just so broken. And fingers crossed, Eric Broad will never nerf this beautiful quest, because it really puts fishing into a whole different level. And when it comes to explosive growth in terms of money, you can't beat that quest. It is probably the best mechanic in the game to get huge amounts of money in very quick succession. Even if you planted a whole field worth of crops and you put them into cakes, you're still waiting a long time to see huge profits. But once this quest activates, you can literally just go to the lake area, start fishing up Legend 2s, and you're making millions of gold. Now, we have a lot of fish ponds on the farm, so we are going to get lots of Legend 2 roe every single day. But it gets better. If we can obtain another mastery level, we can try to get those lovely golden animal crackers, and that will dramatically increase the output of Legend 2 roe per day. So I made a lot more fish smokers. We're now going to go and get farming mastery. The Statue of Blessings is quite useful as well, because that can actually give fishing perks also. It can make the first few fish you catch in a day much easier. The Iridium Scythe might come in handy later, but we're kind of finished farming, but still it's nice to have it. So we are going to smoke Legend 2s every time we walk past the farm. We're now going to go to Robin. We're going to purchase more stone to make even more fish ponds. As long as there's space on our farm, we're going to be putting fish ponds on it. Nothing else is really going to go on the Riverlands Farm. Now, what we're really aiming for in the next few weeks is to get the extended family quest again, because this is where the huge money is going to take place. Sure, you might make 100,000 to 200,000 from lava eels in one day, but you can make millions from Legend 2s. The difference is just huge. We're going to take a look at the community quest board. We'll take a curious substance for now. It does unlock those mini warp obelisks. We may take that quest on if we have time. It is Thursday, so we'll see how we're doing. We're getting more smoked Legend 2s today. Now, we did use up quite a lot of tackles, so we're going to smelt up some copper ores into copper bars to make some more trap bobbers, and we can also smelt up some gold ores into gold bars, and we can make treasure hunter tackles and other bits and bobs. We're also going to make some cork bobbers as well, because there's a really cool combination where if you have 2 cork bobbers, it makes the fishing bar way bigger, and if you use challenge bait, if you get a perfect catch, you put up 3 fish instead of 1. Now, let's be realistic. It's almost impossible to get a perfect catch with Legend 2, but we're going to be using those cork boggers for other things in the near future. So we're now smelting up iridium bars, now they put to great use as well. At the end of the 3 days of fishing, we made 1.6 million gold. Now that, my friends, is the power of fishing in Stardew Valley. This is where fishing ranks supreme amongst the professions. You can't make that kind of money in such a short span of time with any other profession. Even if you had a whole field filled up to the top with starfruit, you have to wait a good few days for that to grow, and you have to wait even longer to put it into cakes. So fishing really is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. The next day, we managed to get some Legend 2 roes, which was really nice. Now, each one of these roes gives a lot of money, and because we have the artisan perk, we're going to get even more. Now, eventually, we will go to the Statue of Uncertainty and swap those perks out to focus on gold and treasure chests to get golden animal crackers and other bits and bobs. But for now, we're going to keep selling the roe and making lots of money. We're going to pick up the rare seed and the coffee bean too from the shopping cart. We're going to go to Pierre and we're going to purchase one of every single sapling that he has. Reason being, I just want to make sure that we've most of the areas covered when it comes to doing those raccoon side quests. They're worth doing, because if you do enough, you will unlock the raccoon's full shop inventory, and you can trade in some things to get back some serious stuff from that raccoon, including magic rock candies. We just picked up a star drop tea there. Now, I'm not too sure as of yet if we'll bother getting married in this challenge, but we'll see. We'll see how the next couple of weeks go. I also got a void egg from Probus because we want to get access to the wizard's magical terminal. We're going to make a mayonnaise machine. We're going to put the void egg in the machine to get back a void mayonnaise. Now, once this machine is finished, we can head on up to Witch's Swamp when we can get the magical wizard ink. But first, let's give the void mayonnaise to the henchman. He's going to give us access to the witch's house. Inside, we have the magical ink. There's also some statues inside here too that we don't really use, but each statue does serve a function that we won't actually be utilising in this challenge. We do have all of the resources required to get the island obelisk. I was thinking about getting the desert one, but you know what? I find that we're going to Ginger Island a lot more, so I'm going to spend the 1 million gold, the iridium bars and the other bits and bobs to get that obelisk on the farm. We can now go to and from Ginger Island as we please, which is really nice. Another day, another Legend 2 row. We're going to make so much money from these. I wanted to go to the source today to respec my fishing skill, but because the Halloween event is on tonight, I couldn't go that way. But not to worry, there is another way we can get to the source, and that is by going through this lovely pipe. If Mario was here, he'd be so proud of us. We're now going to speak to the Statue of Uncertainty. We're going to pay 10,000 gold, and we are going to respec the fishing skill. And we're going to respec this in a way where fishing chests will become a lot more common. It's also worth checking out the Mushroom Cave every couple of days. We do go in here religiously, just so you know, to get that free forage and XP. Gonna go to the Halloween event. Because we have so much money, it's no harm getting the rare crow and the recipe for the jack-o'-lantern. We're then going to pick up the golden pumpkin inside this chest. And what I really love about this event now is you can get the minecart to go back to the start. Before 1.6 that wasn't there, and it was such a drag to have to go back to the maze again. We may need to make more preserve bins, and I might just make the house bigger and put all the preserve bins in the house, just to free up some space on the farm. So level 10 fishing, we're now going to take Pirate, chance to find treasure doubled. But we are going to do some pretty cool combos here. We're going to get the treasure hunter tackles. This will increase the chance of treasure chests popping up for us. We are also going to make a new bait called the magnet bait using iron bars. Now it decreases the fishing bite rate, but if we use the dressed spinner tackle, because we can use 2 tackles at once, that will even it out. So we're going to use the treasure hunter, the magnet and the dressed spinner to get tons upon tons of fishing treasure chests, and hopefully a lot of those will be gold, not regular, so we can get gold animal crackers, star drop teas, pearls and things like that. In our first golden chest we picked up some challenge bait. I mean, it's nice to get that, and we will be using that in winter for some of the cool events that are going to happen, including the Squid Fest. Even in the regular chests you can get some good stuff, but the things you get in the golden fishing treasure chests are just a whole tier above the rest. Now we're going to go to Rob and get another fish pond. Now this is actually our last few pieces of seaweed. We have finally run out. Now seaweed is very common down in the beach area, so we are going to do the majority of fishing down here today to get as much seaweed as possible, so we can continue to get Robin to put fish ponds on the farm. You can't buy seaweed, unfortunately. You can get fish ponds to give you seaweed if you put specific things in there, but it's not a guarantee. In my opinion, the easiest way to get seaweed is just come down here to the beach and just fish it. It's very common. We just got our very first golden animal cracker. We are going to put this beautiful cracker into a fish pond, specifically the legend fish pond, to double the odds of us getting legend roe. And for the rest of the day, it's as per usual, fishing. And we are going to pull up as much fish as possible, and we're going to sell the fish. We're not really going to smoke them, even though I have lots of coal. I prefer to smoke either lava eels at this stage now, or I can smoke up more legend 2s. Now today is Sunday. Let's cross our fingers and hope for the extended family quest again tomorrow. If we got it tomorrow, it would absolutely break this run. Could you imagine the money that we'd get? We'd probably get another, I'd say, 1 million, 1.5, maybe even more. We could get more warp obelisks put on the farm. We could even aim for the golden clock. Now, chances are we're not going to get that because there's only 4 weeks left in the challenge. But imagine if we got the gold clock by the end of the first year. Wouldn't that be absolutely amazing? Is it possible? Let's find out. So thanks everyone for watching this series up to now. I do really appreciate you. Huge shout out to my channel members. We've made 3 million goals so far. That has been primarily from selling fish and fish products. So it's a nice figure, but we can do way better. So let's wait and see how we get on now in the next few weeks, and let's make the most out of winter. I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you very soon in the next Stardew Valley challenge.